You don't look away because you're shy. You look away because, for a moment, it feels like someone can see more than you're ready to show. And the strange part is, you don't even know what they might see. So, you break eye contact. Not because you don't care, but because something in you pulls back. The question is, what exactly are you protecting? You're in a conversation. Someone is talking to you and they hold your gaze. For a second, you hold it too. Then something shifts. Your mind speeds up. You start wondering, do I look awkward? Am I reacting the right way? Are they judging me right now? And without thinking, you look away. Maybe at your phone, maybe at the floor, maybe at nothing in particular. Later, you replay it. You tell yourself, I should have just maintained eye contact. But in the moment, it didn't feel that simple, because it wasn't just eye contact. It felt like exposure, like standing in front of someone without a filter. This starts affecting more than just conversations. You might come across as distant, or uninterested, or hard to read, even when inside you're fully present. Over time, you begin to question yourself. Why can't I just be normal in conversations? But here's the part most people miss. This isn't just about social skill. It's about what your brain thinks eye contact means, and that meaning runs deeper than you realize. You're not broken, and you're not bad at connecting. What you're doing is something your brain learned for a reason. Avoiding eye contact is not a failure. It's a form of protection. Your mind is trying to regulate something that feels intense, because for you, eye contact isn't neutral. It carries weight. It signals something deeper than just looking at someone. It signals being seen. And when your brain senses that kind of visibility, it doesn't always feel safe. So it creates distance. Not because you don't want connection, but because part of you isn't sure what will happen once connection becomes too real. And that's where things get interesting. Because your brain isn't reacting to the present moment alone. It's reacting to something older, something learned. Your brain is constantly scanning for social safety, not just physical safety, but emotional safety. One key system involved here is the threat detection system, primarily linked to the amygdala. Its job is simple: detect anything that might lead to rejection, embarrassment, or loss of status. Eye contact triggers this system more than you'd expect. Why? Because eye contact is one of the most direct forms of social exposure. It removes distance. It removes ambiguity. It says, I see you, and you see me. Now here's where it gets deeper. Your brain doesn't just process what's happening. It predicts what could happen. So, when you hold eye contact, your mind starts running simulations. What if they judge me? What if I look awkward? What if I reveal something I didn't mean to? This creates cognitive load. Your attention splits. Part of you is listening, and another part is monitoring yourself. This is called self-focused attention, and it changes everything. Think of it like this. Your brain has two modes: experience mode, you're just present, and observer mode, you're watching yourself in real time. Eye contact pushes you into observer mode. And when that happens, your natural social behavior gets interrupted. You stop responding automatically. You start managing yourself manually. That's why it feels unnatural and exhausting. So your brain solves the problem the easiest way it knows. It reduces the stimulus. You look away. Relief. But here's the catch. Every time you do that, your brain learns eye contact equals pressure, and the loop strengthens. Which means the next time it happens even faster. But this loop isn't permanent, and breaking it doesn't require forcing confidence. It requires understanding how to work with your brain. Shift from being seen to seeing. What to do? Instead of focusing on how you look, focus on observing the other person. Notice their expressions, their tone, their pauses. Why it works? This reduces self-focused attention and reactivates external attention networks in the brain. It moves you from observer mode back into experience mode. Example, in a conversation, instead of thinking, do I look weird, you think, what emotion are they expressing right now? Use micro eye contact instead of forcing it. What to do? Hold eye contact for 2 to 3 seconds, then naturally look away, then return. Don't aim for constant eye contact. Why it works. Your brain tolerates gradual exposure better than intensity. This is based on habituation. Repeated, manageable exposure reduces threat response. Example, while listening, you look at their eyes briefly, then glance aside while thinking, then reconnect. It feels natural, not forced. Name the feeling instead of escaping it. What to do? When discomfort arises, mentally label it. This is pressure, or this is anxiety. Why it works? Labeling emotions activates the prefrontal cortex, which calms the amygdala. It reduces the intensity of the reaction. Example, instead of immediately looking away, you notice, I feel exposed right now. That awareness softens the reaction. Lower the meaning of eye contact. What to do? Remind yourself, eye contact is not a test. It's just a channel of communication. Why it works? Your brain assigns threat based on meaning. When you reduce the perceived stakes, the threat response decreases. Example, before a conversation, you think, this is not about being perfect, just being present. Practice in low-stakes environments. What to do? Start with brief eye contact in casual situations, cashiers, strangers, short interactions. Why it works? Your brain updates beliefs through repeated safe experiences. This rewires the prediction system. Example, you hold eye contact while saying thank you at a store. Nothing bad happens. Your brain registers that, and slowly the fear loosens. There's a simple way to understand all of this. Your brain treats eye contact like a spotlight. When it turns on, you feel like you're on display, so you step out of it. But the goal isn't to force yourself to stand still under the light. It's to realize something. The spotlight isn't as intense as your brain thinks, and you're not being analyzed as deeply as you imagine. When you shift from how am I being seen to what am I experiencing, the spotlight softens, and connection starts to feel less like exposure and more like presence. You don't avoid eye contact because you're weak. You avoid it because, somewhere along the way, being seen started to feel like a risk. But not everything your brain protects you from is actually dangerous. Sometimes it's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things feel intense until they don't. So, the next time you catch yourself looking away, don't judge it, just notice it. And maybe stay a second longer than usual. Not to prove anything, just to see what happens when you don't leave. Because connection doesn't start when you become confident. It starts the moment you stop running from being seen.